prosecutor of the case in her life, was installed to replace Mr. Siebert, and it was clear that part of her mandate was to go after Miss James. Halligan immediately sought an indictment, which the court dismissed because Halligan was illegally put into the role. But your department was undeterred, and not once, but twice, you tried to indict Attorney General James in separate courts. Both grand juries rejected you and refused to indict her. It is practically unheard of for a grand jury to refuse an indictment. In 2016, it happened in just 6 cases out of over 150,000 offenses. And you had it happen twice in the same week, in 2 different courts. That must have been humiliating. And now there are reports you are continuing to investigate her. The amount of resources that have gone into targeting Attorney General James, months of investigations, multiple failed indictments, is astounding. Since your own prosecutors told you that there is not enough evidence to support a conviction, it's clear that you were going after her simply because she held President Trump accountable and he wants to punish her. And she is just one name on a long list of Trump political enemies that DOJ is reportedly targeting. From Jerome Powell and Lisa Cook at the Federal Reserve to James Comey, numerous Democratic members of Congress, John Brennan, Jack Smith, Democratic officials in Minnesota, Chris Krebs, Miles Taylors, and more. And those are just the ones we know about. In contrast to these politically motivated investigations, grasping at something they can charge their enemies with, we now have concrete evidence of disgusting criminality revealed in the Epstein files. So I really have just one question for you. How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
Before she answers the question, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to We-On-Loc Nation channel. I'm streaming on both screens, so I'm on the verge of saying F YouTube for right now because they're a bunch of bigots, and I refuse to remain in bigotry anymore. I refuse. They even say, why did I get the... They won't even tell me why I got demonetized in the first place, and quite frankly, a lawyer is, to have a lawyer involved in this nonsense is very, very, very vague. So I'll just say screw them for right now. I can just do whatever the hell I want. So, but for right now, my concern, for those who was just coming in, my main concern is for the victims and for the children of this nation, because what I am about to put on here is very disturbing for the human eye to see. And if it makes you feel uncomfortable, I understand. If you heard this before, let's continue to rock.
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No, you're going to answer the question the way I asked it.
Chairman Jordan, I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people, but I'm going to answer the question.
How many have you indicted?
Again, the time belongs to me.
Claiming my time.
The time belongs.
I think it's very interesting.
Claiming my time.
I think it's very interesting.
You can reclaim your time.
Hold on a second. She has a very important question. I told you they were trafficking women all over the world. I know. I heard you. Yes, that's my whole point. But it's not just the trafficking I'm talking about. It's not just the trafficking that I'm talking about. But I'm gonna get to all. Don't worry, Lisa. I'm going to get to all that very soon enough. Don't worry. I'm gonna get to all that soon enough. I only see us, Barb. Well, I only got. Well, again, StreamYard is real funny, but I'm trying other memes, and right now I'm successful in one chat. I'm successful in one stream versus another. So I'm gonna go with that logic. So I'm just gonna go with it. But when it comes to address you, I'm going to get to it. Trust me. But for those who have strong stomachs, or weak stomachs, I wouldn't recommend you come in. Recommend you come in. I wouldn't recommend you to do anything. For those who don't have strong stomachs, because what I'm about to reveal is, and I'm letting you know beforehand, that this is something that is real and is reality. And if you don't like reality, I don't know what to tell you. This has been revealed for years. All of this has been revealed since George Bush, I would say. You said George Bush Sr.? All of this has been revealed since George Bush Sr. was in office. And I think this was after Reagan. Right after Reagan. So here we go.
About they indicted, the president said they indicted him twice.
Mr. Chairman, please stop the clock and restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will get in order.
theatrics.
The time belongs to the gentleman from New York. We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when you ask a question, the witness gets to answer. You may not like the answer, but she gets to
The
answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like the answer, Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest.
Reclaiming-
So he asked a
Reclaiming my
4-minute question.
Restore 45 seconds,
I am
Mr. Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr. Chairman.
answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch.
Reclaim-
Not on our time. No way.
Reclaim-
And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the
You're a
Senate.
lawyer, you're not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Time, and I should get back at least 45 seconds.
We will give you a few more seconds. I said that already.
45 seconds.
Okay, I'm timing right now, Mr. Nadler. Go
All
ahead.
right.
My time. The answer to my question, how many of Epstein's co-conspirators has she indicted, is 0. You have been the Attorney General for a whole year, and your DOJ fired the lead prosecutor of this case, sat on evidence this entire time, and claimed falsely last July that there were no more leads. It took an act of Congress for you to finally release part of the Epstein files, and when you did, you included personal information about the victims while protecting the names of abusers.
Time of the gentleman
None of
has
the perpetrators
expired.
were brought to justice, but enormous resources
Time of the
dedicated to
gentleman has
pursuing Trump's
expired, and
It's
obviously
clear that under your leadership, the Department of Justice
there
no
was
longer
no
works.
question in there.
It works
Order
for
respond
Donald
to.
Trump. I yield
The
back.
gentleman yields back.
May I answer?
I think our next questioner, Madam Attorney General, is going to give you time to respond to
Thank you, Chairman.
all kinds of things. So we will turn to the gentleman from Texas for 5 minutes.
Ms. Bondi, you go right ahead. I'm over here. The time is yours.
Thank you. First, he brought up the president saying they indicted me twice. They sure did. They tried to impeach him twice. And you, Mr. Nadler, were one of the leads on the impeachment. I was on the other side. I lived that with you. During impeachment, you said the president conspired, sought foreign interference in the 2016 election. Robert Mueller found no evidence, none, of foreign interference in 2016. Have you apologized to President Trump? Have you apologized to President Trump, all of you who participated in those impeachment hearings against Donald Trump? You all should be apologizing. You sit here and you attack.
Notice, again, going by script. You should all be apologizing to Trump. Well, what about the victims of Epstein? Fuck these kids! It's all about Trump. This is the world that we live in. This is democracy. This is a total democracy.
The president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it. You know, all they want to do, all the American people need to know this. They are talking about Epstein today. This has been around since the Obama administration. This administration released over 3 million pages of documents, over 3 million. And Donald Trump signed that law to release all of those documents. He is the most transparent president in the nation's history. And none of them asked Merrick Garland over the last 4 years, one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records.
Who gives a shit about the Dow? Who gives a shit about who gives a shit about Robin Hood right now? Who gives a shit about the stock? Who gives a shit about fucking Bitcoin? Who gives a shit about that? The lady specifically asked you, and of course there was another question to follow up behind that. Could you at least look at the victims? You didn't want to do that. This is the reason why these people who are survivors, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. They're not victims anymore. They are survivors. I do humbly apologize. The survivors are not protected at all, which makes me think and believe that if this were an ongoing thing, those, and I believe there are a lot of people who practice common sense and would defend their families, those who get snatched up, or those who have, I'll start off this way. Those who have children, protect them. Those children who are over the age of 18 and blah, 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 you don't have to worry too much about them. But those who are underage, because that's how it starts. Those who are underage, and people think that human trafficking is just a one-time thing. No, it isn't. It's an everyday thing. Kids get snatched up at the ages of 11 through 16. They get snatched up and either they're used for organs, organ trafficking, or sex trafficking. And after 48 hours, you will never recognize them ever again because of what the pain and the suffering and the anguish they get put through. Just letting you know that. But the stock exchange is gone up. Bullshit.
Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan,
Committee will be in order.
Mr. Jordan, am I going to?
Did you hear Jasmine in the background? Hey, Mama got she got that the belt to ass syndrome. That's why I came out with that video. Whoop that trick. You know what? I'll skip to that too. I'll skip to that. Hold on. Did she say what I think she just said? Hold on.
I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No,
Your
you can answer the
theatrics are
question the way I
ridiculous.
asked it.
Chairman Jordan, I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people.
You didn't hear her? Oh shit! Hold on.
How many
But
of
I'm
you-
going to answer the question.
How many of you indicted?
Again, the time belongs to
Reclaiming my time.
the time
I
belongs.
think it's very
Reclaiming
interesting.
my time.
I think it's very
Reclaiming my
interesting
time.
You can
that
reclaim
he
your
talks
time.
about they
Reclaiming my time,
indicted.
Mr.
The
Chairman.
president said they
Close the
indicted him
clock.
twice.
Mr. Chairman, please
They
stop the
sure
clock
did.
and
And
stop
he
the clock and
indicted-
restore his
Oh,
time.
okay, here we go with these
Committee will get in order.
theatrics.
The time belongs to the gentleman
Back
from
the
New
clock,
York.
please.
We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when you ask a question, the witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she
Right.
gets to
The
answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like
What?
the answer,
Reclaiming
Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest.
Reclaiming-
So he asked a
Reclaiming my
4-minute
time.
question.
Restore 45
And
seconds,
I am
Mr. Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr. Chairman.
my-
answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch.
Reclaiming-
Not on our time. No way.
Reclaiming-
And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you
You
started.
don't tell me
No, I
anything.
did tell you because I saw what you did in the
You're a
Senate.
lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Time, and I should get back at least 45
We
seconds.
will give you a few more seconds. I said that already.
45 seconds.
Okay, I'm timing right now, Mr. Nadler. Go.
All
Reclaiming
right.
my time.
Who are these people?
The answer to my question, how many of Epstein's co-conspirators has she indicted, is 0. You have been the Attorney General for a whole year, and your DOJ fired the lead prosecutor of this case, sat on evidence this entire time, and claimed falsely last July that there were no more leads. It took an act of Congress for you to finally release part of the Epstein files, and when you did, you included personal information about the victims while protecting the names of abusers.
Time of the gentleman
None of
has
the perpetrators were
expired.
brought to justice, but enormous resources
Time of the
dedicated to
gentleman has
pursuing Trump's
expired, and
It's
obviously
clear that under your leadership, the Department of Justice
there
no
was
longer
no
works. for
question
American
in there.
people. It works
for her to
for
respond
Donald
to.
Trump. I yield
The
back.
gentleman yields back.
May I answer?
I think our next questioner, Madam Attorney General, is going to give you time to respond to
Thank you, Chairman.
all kinds of things. So we will turn to the gentleman from Texas for 5 minutes.
Ms. Bondi, you go right ahead. I'm over here. The time is yours.
Thank you. First, he brought up the president saying they indicted me twice. They sure did. They tried to impeach him twice. And you, Mr. Nadler, were one of the leads on the impeachment. I was on the other side. I lived that with you. During impeachment, you said the president conspired, sought foreign interference in the 2016 election. Robert Mueller found no evidence, none, of foreign interference in 2016. Have you apologized to President Trump? Have you apologized to President Trump, all of you who participated in those impeachment hearings against Donald Trump? You all should be apologizing. You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it. You know, all they want to do, all the American people need to know this. They are talking about Epstein today. This has been around since the Obama administration. This administration released over 3 million pages of documents, over 3 million. And Donald Trump signed that law to release all of those documents. He is the most transparent president in the nation's history. And none of them asked Merrick Garland over the last 4
Bullshit.
years one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over 50,000.
We're living in delusion land. We're living in the freaking Twilight Zone. We're talking about survivors of children who are now older adults. Who are survivors? How did that become? No, it's more than screwed. It's more than screwed, my dear. It's more than that. We were just talking about people who were survivors of child trafficking and possibly child molestation. Children are getting sacrificed. And your only main concern is what we're winning in okay. I'm trying not to cuss. I'm really trying not. No, fuck this bitch. Fuck this little Lily, crazy K bitch. She has no conscience. She has no conscience whatsoever. All to be damned. We're talking about child trafficking. She's talking about what's happening in the goddamn, what's happening in Bitcoin. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan.
Committee will be in order.
Mr. Jordan, am I going to get an extra 45 seconds added to my time?
The committee will be in order. The time belongs.
Did you hear that time? Who was talking about that? Oh,
Goes to the gentleman from Texas, Ms. Bondi, the Attorney General can respond.
Thank you. The Dow has shattered 50,000 for the first.
An CIA official, the same officer said when he approached
Trump's name from the Epstein files, were those reports accurate?
I believe his name has appeared countless times in the documents
how many
that have
people were
been released.
assigned?
If I could finish, I'm going to read you the stats.
I just simply asked whether or not it was true that it was 1,000 folks who were assigned that task. Were those reports accurate?
There are more than 500 attorneys and reviewers. I cannot give you an exact number.
And I wanted to ask you about that also, because this is a different question that you're getting to now. There were 500 DOJ lawyers and others.
Well, let's just pretend I'm a 4-year-old and I don't know shit. Was she doing this on purpose? Does anybody know if she was doing this on purpose or not? Because I'm lost in the sauce. I really am lost in the fucking sauce. I'm like a little baby going, huh? Huh? I think she's just dumb and has nothing to defend any of this. I guess I could take your word for it, but again, she's just protecting Trump. She's protecting Trump. She's protecting Epstein. We have to put her in that position. She is protecting the evil spirit of Epstein. She's calling on me, but you protecting Trump means you're protecting Epstein. So that's a contradiction all in itself. Oops, wrong one.
Was assigned the task of redacting the appropriate information, including identities of the Epstein victim survivors from the Epstein files prior to their release. 500, is that correct?
If I could have finished my answer, there were more than 500 attorneys and reviewers who assisted with the. They asked the question and they don't want an answer.
That answers my question, ma'am, and I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on.
From multiple districts.
This is ridiculous. The time belongs to the gentleman from Georgia.
General Bondi, would you agree that your 8 years of service as the state of Florida's Attorney General, the third largest state in the nation, served as an excellent preparation for your current role as Attorney General for the United States of America?
Not only that, I was a career prosecutor for
Yes,
18
years. And for
18 years.
And for 18
prior
years,
to being,
for 18 years,
he asked a question and doesn't want an answer. This is theatrics.
Well, no, for 18 years, you prosecuted serious felony cases, including drug cases, correct?
Oh, I prosecuted homicides. I prosecuted capital cases. I prosecuted domestic violence cases. I prosecuted multiple cases, and that's why I feel for all of these victims. And did you ask Merrick Garland?
No, you don't. You don't feel for none of these victims. You won't even look them in the eye.
You were sitting before him, sir?
Prosecuted sexual assault. Is correct.
Earlier, I prosecuted.
Right.
But that didn't stop the death threats or my GOP colleagues from referring me to an ethics investigation where Kevin McCarthy's chairman on the ethics committee would find the same thing as the FBI. Our current FBI director would then write a book called Government Gangsters and identify
who want.
Wait, what? What is that? Or am I tripping? Let me go back a little bit. What were they just showing? Hold on.
To work with us. And yes, we're going to do everything we can to keep our citizens safe, whether or not these Democrat-controlled sanctuary cities do or don't.
And damn it, that's what really matters. I yield back.
Mr. Chair, I have a UC.
Ms. Crockett from Texas is recognized for UC.
Thank you so much. Donald Trump's approval rating implodes on his strongest issue. This is from Newsweek today. It says 40% of people approve of Trump's handling of immigration and border security, while 60% disapprove.
Without objection,
that is a net drop.
Now I recognize the gentleman
20.
from California, Mr. Liu.
That was kind of evil, but okay.
Thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for being here today. I'm going to show you two photos.
Thank you.
I'm going to show you two photos of former Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. Under the law Congress passed, you are allowed to redact photos to protect the victims of Epstein's sex trafficking.
What is that? What's going on? Is that a child? Is that a child? Would somebody tell me, is that a child? Bart, are you seeing this? Could somebody please tell me if that's a child or not? Do y'all need to see it again? Not this chat, but do y'all need to see it again? Was this a child? Prince Andrew with a child. I'm sorry if I was on mute. Do you know if that was a child? Lisa, Barb, do you know if that was a child or not? Oh my God. You said you need to see it again? Here. This is Prince Andrew.
operation. You redacted the photos of this victim's face because you were following the congressional law. Is that correct?
I'm sorry that we redacted the victim's
Because you were
face?
following the congressional law, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You have now established that please put the photos back up, that we are looking at a sex trafficking victim. Under the Federal Victims Trafficking Protection Act, not only is Jeffrey Epstein guilty, but anyone who patronizes Epstein's sex operation is also guilty of a crime. That's why I find it absolutely despicable that you sought to protect Epstein's clients like former Prince Andrew. Last July, you closed the case on Epstein's abusers. The July 2025 memo from your Department of Justice stated, quote, "We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties." These two photos, please put the photos back up. These two photos staring you in the face are evidence of a crime and more than enough evidence to predicate an investigation against former Prince Andrew. So I ask you, Attorney General Pam Bondi, why did you shut down this investigation last July, and why have you not prosecuted former Prince Andrew?
I don't believe you asked Merrick Garland these questions when he was Attorney General and set before.
I agree with you.
You twice.
I'm reclaiming my time.
Never
I agree with
mentioned
you. I agree with you. During
Did you not hear
the Biden administration, I called for people looking at Epstein files. Merrick Garland dropped the ball, as did Attorney General Bill Barr, as did Alex Acosta, a whole string of failures. But you are in charge. You have the power to change things, to hold these men accountable, and you're doing the opposite. You're protecting them. So I want to move on to another man.
Can I answer
Donald
that,
Trump.
though?
I want to move on to another
Can I
question.
answer your question about protecting?
You answered the question.
You're saying no. I love this.
I want to discuss another man, Donald Trump, who is all over the Epstein files, like former Prince. Here's the video. Like former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files
I'm reclaiming my time.
be
I got your
released.
answer. You said there's no
President
evidence.
Trump asked
Chairman,
that
please stop the clock.
he sign the legislation. This is
Time.
this is
I'd like to
ridiculous.
reclaim my time.
Time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay.
I believe he was a little bit more stern. Me, I wouldn't ask no questions. You're guilty in the discussion. But I have asked a question. Can a head general of the Department of Justice, can she be impeached? Can she be impeached? So we can make her we can impeach her, right? We can actually impeach her, right?
I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is on videotape. You said there's no evidence of a crime. I'm showing you. Here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop the limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell, so should the men who patronized his operation. And as we sit here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable.
1,000? 1,000. On an island like that? Which makes me think, was Jay-Z involved? Which makes me think, was Jay-Z involved?
Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
The gentleman has expired.
May I respond?
Yeah, I don't know how you respond. No one can.
I did not ask a question.
Go ahead, you're allowed to.
I did not ask a question.
Crime in California. He does not want to talk about
I did not ask a
crime
question.
in his
She
state.
can't just ask
He's
this
going
stuff. I
after
did not
Donald
ask a
Trump.
question.
Meeting will be in order. The gentleman has yielded back his time. I think our next witness will be more than happy to let the Attorney General.
Madam Attorney General, would you like?
Gentleman from Alabama is recognized for 5 minutes.
You have a few minutes.
Thank-
I go through those.
You've seen happen in DC, what we saw happen in Memphis, and what I would love to see.
We're not going to go through this whole entire thing because this was a whole 3-hour peak. I'm just speechless right now, bro. It's not that I didn't know anything about what the. Just got back from the hotel. You still going? Yes, cuz. Come on through, cuzzo. Come on through, cuzzo. Just settle back, kick back and enjoy yourself. Kick back. Let me know when you're coming up. Let me know when you're coming up. I'll let you in. But back to what I was saying. I'm speechless. I am totally speechless. And we know we got people out there who will excuse this type of stuff. That's my only concern. That was not a concern of mine because I just ignore the people who just act ignorant to the simple fact that, you know, this is a real life situation. This right here is just as real as it gets. We're talking about over 1,000 people, not just young girls, mind you, but young boys. Young boys. Boys. Mind you, there is sex trafficking all across the globe, places where you had never ever heard before, but obviously there are some people who obviously had took onus of that. What happened to Christian values? I don't know. Ask Pam Bondi. Ask Donald Trump. He proclaims to be a Christian. That's why he's having all these Christian wars, right? Hell, even the Klansmen's a Christian. Ain't that right, Fred?
In some ways, if we could ever get our governor to work with us in North Carolina, to happen in Charlotte. But with that, I yield back. Thank you.
Time of the gentleman has expired. The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I seek
Joe.
unanimous
Thanks,
consent
Joey.
to introduce into the record the research that Representative Kumlager-Dove and I referenced concerning the threat of right-wing domestic terrorism, which the Department of Justice scrubbed from its website in September.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that, Joey. Please, sir. We can't if the signed document again with her or other people. will need the House to go against her, but they control the House after the next vote will do. But Sikh's got to turn blue. That's all there is to it.
Without objection, the gentlelady from
Thank
Texas
you.
is recognized.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. And to be clear, I'm not going to ask any questions of this witness because this witness has revealed that she has no intentions of answering questions. But instead, I'm going to ask some very basic questions really quickly of my colleague, Becca Ballant, if she will answer right or wrong, raping children. Wrong. Right or wrong, killing random citizens. Definitely wrong. Right or wrong, enriching yourself as the sitting president of the United States. Definitely wrong. Okay, thank you, because I probably never would have got that with our witness. Our witness who somehow is a lawyer but does not understand how it works with witnesses. I'm not really sure what law school she went to and what all kind of cases she tried, but typically when you come into a space and somebody's a witness, then they sit there and they answer questions instead of asking questions. And then we also have this objection that we use as lawyers called non-responsive when a witness fails to actually answer the question. But nevertheless, let me address the survivors because that's exactly who they are. They are not victims, they are survivors. Let me say thank you for having more courage and moral clarity in your pinky fingers than the entire Department of Justice. We are currently the laughing stock of the world, partially because of the failed leadership within the DOJ as we see kings and queens falling everywhere.
Is man-boy love a sin? Is girl on girl a sin? Ain't that in your Bible? I have a better question for you. Who written your Bible? Get back to me on that.
Around the world, but we don't know the basics of right and wrong in this country because it's not about partisanship. And that's why I applaud Thomas Massey, because he's the only person on the Republican side that has a backbone and knows how to stand up to corruption. But nevertheless, let me keep going. My Democratic colleagues have been attacked this entire committee hearing. They have been lied on, and frankly, the American people weren't looking for that. They were looking for answers about the corruption that they see coming from this administration. And in the written testimony of this witness, of this particular witness, she stated that when she took office, she had two main goals. The first was to end the weaponization of justice, and second, to return the department to its core mission. Not only have you lied about both, you've intentionally done the exact opposite. You're spending more taxpayer resources arresting journalists than you are prosecuting pedophiles and creeps. In fact, your boss, the President of the United States, stated that this administration, quote, took the freedom of speech away. And at your direction, DOJ has arrested Don Lemon and Georgia Fort. And I might add that y'all actually had a judge that rejected y'all for trying to arrest Don Lemon before, just like the grand jury rejected y'all as it relates to Senator Kelly, just like a grand jury rejected y'all as it relates to Senator Slotkin, just like the case against Tish James was dismissed and the case against Mr. Comey was dismissed. Completely don't get how it is that you're sitting at the top of DOJ because you don't seem to be.
Those are the victims, or those are the survivors, excuse me. The ones that are standing in the corner.
Good at your job. You're spending more taxpayer resources arresting these journalists. In fact, we know after Georgia Fort and Don Lemon were arrested, we know that there were homes of journalists that were raided. We know that threatened prosecution against students protesting your actions and forced tech companies to remove apps used to track ISIS activities. But let's circle back to you protecting pedophiles and creeps, because I want to talk about the president and his possible involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I don't know what the president might have done with Jeffrey Epstein, but unlike this administration, I believe that facts matter. So let's talk about the facts. Fact number one, Donald Trump is one of the most named people in the Epstein files. At least 5,000 files contains more than 38,000 references to Trump, his wife, or Mar-a-Lago. Fact number two, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell made young girls available to Trump on multiple occasions. For example, according to this file, Ghislaine Maxwell presented a young girl to President Trump who spent more than 20 minutes apparently flirting with her. Here's another example. This shows notes from FBI investigators that describe Jeffrey Epstein transporting a victim to Mar-a-Lago to meet with President Trump, where he bragged to Trump that, quote, "This is a good one." Now, I'm not saying that the president is a pedophile, but there is a lot of evidence in these files that suggests that he's very close friends with a lot of men who are pedophiles. What's crazy about all of this is just that this is a big cover-up. And this administration is engaged in it. In fact, this administration is complicit. But there are numerous others, like how the DOJ is attempting to obstruct justice in the investigation of the rogue agents who have murdered American citizens, or how the DOJ seized voter data from Fulton County in an attempt to steal the 2026 midterm elections, or how federal agents have Tom Homan on tape accepting a bribe and your agency killed the investigation, or how your agency is ready to give the president a $230 million payday, which is unconstitutional. The Constitution is clear. The president shall not receive any payment except his salary while in office. The fact of the matter is that you will be remembered as one of the worst attorney generals in history. An attorney general who has prioritized obstruction over justice, corruption over the law, fealty to the president over loyalty to the Constitution. And Mr. Chairman, I will yield.
Gentlelady yields. Gentleman from Missouri is recognized. Excuse me, gentleman from Kansas, the Attorney General, former Attorney General, Mr. Schmidt is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and General Bondi, thanks for being here. Did you have anything you wanted to say before we talk?
I do. Thank you, Congressman. Thank you, my friend, for many years. I find it interesting that she didn't even want to try, Congresswoman Crockett, to ask any questions, because she certainly did not condemn her leader, Hakeem Jeffries, for taking money from Jeffrey Epstein after Epstein was convicted. And I will be brief to give you your time, Congressman. This is what she didn't want to talk about. Texas, from Cuba, convicted, homicide, arson, weapon offense.
Convicted.
You know,
so what are we talking about? Convict some of these perpetrators that rape these women that are sitting behind you that you refuse to even acknowledge they are here.
Time belongs to the gentleman from Kansas.
Mr. Chairman, could I have a few seconds back to make up for the yelling? Thank you. General, did you have anything further to say?
Texas, convicted of homicide, Cecil Joseph from Dominican Republic. Texas, convicted for kidnapping, rape, Khalid Khan from Afghanistan. That's why they want to talk about Epstein and not with.
Wow. One person. One person after another. So I would say that would be a good 0.5% versus millions and millions of people who have pillaged and plundered and raped our ancestry throughout the years, but let me not go there. Thank you for coming to the channel. Thank you for coming to the We-On-Loc channel. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm choking over my own spit. Welcome to the We-On-Loc channel. We're just about to go over something that's very, very crazy, and if you have a strong stomach, or if you don't have a strong stomach, please don't allow yourself up in here, because it's about to get crazy in a minute. As a matter of fact, we don't have to go through all this, because this was like 3 hours. This was damn near 3 hours. Let's see. What particularly, my question is, what particularly, possibly, maybe, was Epstein up to? Let's just see, shall we?
In the newly released Epstein files, people are starting to be very concerned because of code words, it seems, that Jeffrey Epstein is using in his emails, one of them being jerky. And there is speculation now, and a lot of people are starting to wonder, was beef jerky code word for human flesh? As in, was Jeffrey Epstein a cannibal? So I'm not gonna state my opinion. I'm just gonna go ahead and read you guys, or at least not state my opinion right away. I'm just gonna go ahead and read you guys some of these emails. There's a lot of emails related to beef jerky, and it does come off odd. I'll say that it does come off odd when you read the emails, and we'll start seeing if there's any dots that we can connect. So I'm using here to go through all of the emails is jmail.world. It's basically the Department of Justice's newly released Epstein files. I think Drop Site News worked together, and there was a lot of like coders that put together this website. So if you go to jmail.world, it's really, really nice because it's very user friendly to see all of the Epstein files.
Hey, just want to let you know that it doesn't matter who was involved. If your name is Jeffrey Epstein and your prior name had to be connected to all these particular people, except for Michael Jackson. Real story for those who don't know about Michael Jackson and his history. He wasn't playing that dumb shit. They literally had kids show up to his house, and he was trying to make up for the people who obviously gave their kids away to mainstream to be pimped out by the masses. As a matter of fact, he was, I would consider, a whistleblower. Yes, Michael Jackson himself. And we can go into many different scenarios of how he got murdered or whatever. Was it part of the music? Was it the music? Was it the ownership? That was part of it. But the other part, the other part of it was of who was merely after him because of the simple fact that he found out some shit that he shouldn't have found out.
As if they were in an email format in Jeffrey Epstein's inbox. And he's going back and forth with this lady named Jenny Enterprise. I miss you. How are you? Love you tons. Great, great, great. Miss you. Are you still eating beef jerky for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? And he responds back by saying just breakfast. So that seems, kind of normal. Maybe he really just was on some sort of diet. I don't know about you guys, but I've done weird diets in the past where I've tried like a full-on paleo diet or a full-on meat diet. That was a thing I did a few years ago. So if you're really into like different sort of lifestyles and dieting, that could be the case. And then you go on and you read a little bit more, and there's 781 emails related to beef jerky, and some of them are a lot more concerning than others. Hi, Jeffrey asked that you may make some beef jerky for him. He's continuously wanting beef jerky made. Would it be possible for you to make another batch of beef jerky for Jeffrey Epstein? He is running out. He's consistently running out of beef jerky. And it goes on and on and on, talking about beef jerky, the way you should make the beef jerky, how it should be continuously seasoned. Would it be possible for you to make another batch of beef jerky for Jeffrey Epstein? Again, the same exact thing. Hi, Leslie. Jeff had asked to have his sample of his beef jerky tested for nutritional value. Attached are the results just received. Please let me know if I can be of any further assistance. So in this case, it seems like he did actually, have the beef jerky tested for nutritional value. So maybe he really was just obsessed with the content of just obsessed with his diet and really wanting to understand the nutritional value. That could be a thing. It's interesting. Let's go through another because there's some other very, very odd ones. Hi, there's one bag of beef jerky in the fridge at 71st.
Do we not understand what this particular person is talking about? Beef jerky. We all should know, or allegedly, since everybody says alleged. Humans put it in that way. Just put it that way. He ran out of beef jerky. He ran out of human beings to eat. Are we not surprised about that shit?
at 71st. Please get it. Also, blank has one more at her place. Please get it from her as well and bring it all with you. I suppose it needs to be in a cold insulated bag, right? Thank you. My concern is if beef jerky wasn't code word for, if beef...
A cold insulated bag? What does that tell you?
Beef jerky was code word for something more sinister, how would so many people be in on this and it be completely fine? How would so many people be in on the fact that there is human flesh being served? I mean, honestly, it's really disgusting just thinking about it. And to me, it just seems, it sounds crazy. It really does sound crazy. But the thing is, so far, all of that.
Yes. Yeah, the private chef owned many of restaurants. One of them was named Cannibal. And even at his place of residence, Epstein's place of residence, you see nothing but faces on the wall. You see nothing but faces. Now, allegedly, those faces were either either ripped off physically or they just plain made mantles out of them. Whichever came first. Whichever came first. Right up there with Jeffrey Dahmer.
Epstein files sound crazy, so it's really hard sometimes to decipher what could be true and what's not. But so far, we're just seeing a lot of this weird talk about beef jerky. Maybe he really did just have some weird weird interest in beef jerky. And he really was into his diet. Hi, Jeffrey said he would like to take beef jerky to the ranch. Would you at least take care of that this week? Again, Karnia Shaliach.
There's going to be no justice.
Completely butchering that name that he's speaking with. And again, going back and forth, and somebody seems to have asked him what he had in the fridge. Please, Anna, have the following groceries tomorrow: unpeeled garlic, parsnips, fresh coconuts, lemons, fresh salmon, and a lot of things that you would need to make beef jerky. Okay, I will go to the store first thing in the morning. Please, do you have any beef jerky? And it goes on and on and on. And look at this. I will come teach a jerky class, and we can also cover chocolate cream pie if you can agree to pay me through this period. So I would then receive my last paycheck on the 29th. This is Francis Derby, and he's actually the famous chef that started a restaurant, I believe, in Los Angeles. It was this guy, and the name of the restaurant was called The Cannibal Restaurant. I'm not kidding. So, that's kind of who that guy was, which is why this is all this sort of stuff is going so viral. So, I'm going to let you guys make the decision whether or not this is actually real beef jerky or it's code word for something else. I think that it's very odd. I mean, Francis Derby, this guy that owned tons of restaurants or, very famous chef, the idea that a very famous chef would...
So it's Francis Derby, huh? Okay. Someone come up? Oh. Hey, cuz. You're on mute.
Because I said I only wanted to watch.
You came up. The link was for coming up. All you had to do was just go to the live stream.
Okay, I'm finna leave and come back. But not so they can hear me.
All right. But
okay,
I do have a question for you.
Because you're about to start and make me talk for 40 minutes. And
no. Just one question.
Okay, what?
Did you see the ass whooping that Jasmine Crockett put on Pam Bondi?
Yes. And I will not elaborate because I will keep talking about it. But I saw it. And it was overdue. And well deserved.
Elaborate on it just a little bit.
Yes. Okay. Bye. Love you.
Bye. Love you. That was an ass she gave her. I just want to talk about. She's not shy at all.
Would be in on it, along with all of these other individuals, and moving bags around of beef jerky, quote unquote, to eat it. I think it's very, very odd, and to me it just seems crazy. But then again, everything seems crazy in these documents, so who's to say? But the idea of doing it so out in the open like that, it just seems pretty odd to me. But a lot of people, a lot of politicians are also tweeting about this, thinking, okay, there seems to be some weird sort of code words here.
I didn't know I was getting love from Britain. Shouts out to Britain. Shouts out to Britain. Welcome to the We-On-Loc channel. I didn't know I was getting all the way to shouts out to Britain. Oh my Lord. Thank you. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you're feeling kind of generous, you can always go to my Cash App. It's Desi88. Desi88 Cash App. Desi88 the Cash App. Barb, if you're in here, please put up my Cash App for me. Please, pretty please. If you are in here. If not, don't worry about it.
Maybe it actually does mean something really sinister. Maybe they are doing something weird. I also saw in a lot of other emails, people were previously mentioning cottage cheese, and stating that there is a code word with that as well. White tuna, stating there's a code word with that as well. So there's a lot of statements being made regarding, what could all of this be said? What could really be said here? Here's another one. Again, a list of what he has in the refrigerator, and listing also beef jerky. So again, just a lot of stuff. I've never seen somebody.
Okay, they're just looking at what's in his refrigerator. Like, what the fuck? Just look at what's in his refrigerator. Yeah. Ass was in the refrigerator. What does that mean? All right, before I go to the next thing here. I'm sorry, it's like, what do you? He was in the refrigerator and he looked up there and he had this. It's like, yes, it's no different from Jeffrey Dahmer. There's no fucking different from it. That's just how people are, man. That's just how freaking people are. But let me go to my email real quick. Let me go back to my email because I want to show you people something. I just want to show you, and I want to put it on a live stream. Let's see here. Let me move that out the way. Move that out the way. Like I said, if you have strong stomachs, there we are. There we are. Oh. Oh. Oh my goodness. All the me's a miser, that's a strong meatball. Is that's Bill? No, that's not Bill. Interesting. And people say I'm stupid. People say I'm stupid. But look at what you have. You have under teenage girls. Under teenage girls
who were manipulated into doing what they did. Trump mentioned many times Hannibal Lecter. Oh, that's nothing new. That's nothing new. The fact of the matter is, when they're going to end, the fact if we, I'll tell you like this: we do not vote. I'm just gonna let you know now. I don't know why this is going on here. If we do not vote in November election, and he's gonna try everything damning to either block it, postpone it, whatever. Get to those polls early and often. Get to the polls early and often. Because I see a vision. My vision is some bullshit is going to happen. And he knows his time is near. He knows his time is up. And Pam Bondi knows her time is up. Christy knows her time is up. Cash Mattel knows that her time is up. That only leaves JD Vance. That's the only person that it leaves is JD Vance. As long as you're in line with the polls, when the polls close, you can vote. Oh, I know that. Cuzzo. But, I'm going to get there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read into it. Can I actually participate in voting? Can I actually participate in early voting? Not in November. Share the knowledge. Oh, of course. I shared it earlier, but you weren't here. But basically what I stated was early November, right? Somewhere around this month is early voting. In November, get there early. Get there early and often and start voting for those seats to be blue. Start voting for those Senate seats to be blue. Otherwise, you're going to be dealing with this for the next 3 years. I guarantee you that. For the next 3 freaking years, you're going to be dealing with the same shit. But anyways, I want to thank DOD, Too Black, for coming up here and talking with a brother. I want to thank people in this particular chat. I know things were kind of messed up, and this is the reason why I'm thinking about just scrapping. I'm thinking about just scrapping StreamYard and just going to Restream, because this is the raggediest stream I've ever been in. Restream to me is much better, but I will let you know beforehand what I do, and I'll just come up on here and do videos here on my phone. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Don't be a chump. Vote for Trump. You stupid. All right. Peace and hair grease.